It's Matt along with Choco, and today I want to talk about what I'm really frustrated with Gumi and what I'm frustrated with FFBE. So stay tuned and let's see if we can get something together to make this a better game. Because to be quite honest, this has not nearly been as good as it has been for quite a while. And there's some serious issues. Stay tuned. All right. So, and Shaylee, it's not you. But all in all, here, the big issue right now is that we have our Chinese New Year, which is usually one of the most exciting time periods outside of Halloween for units that have some really cool and everything. And yes, Chow is a good boy and a very, very well loved unit. But in all fairness, this is a repeat of Chow. Why couldn't you've just given Chow an NVA? I know that outside of things here, and this is going to be a rant that hasn't really been planned out, so I do apologize if I meander a lot, which I might with this one. But the big issue that we've been seeing is we've been seeing a lot of repeat units that are just getting Neovisions instead of an Awakening and a newer unit. This has definitely been creeping along. Cardin at least was a very, very good unit and incredibly powerful and useful. Limited time only, and a lot of people missed him and is very, very sour about that. But that's another issue that might be a little lower on the list for some of the things. Then we had Christmas. We had Tiana. Tiana was really designed for a cow boss. She might have potential in other cows. We haven't seen, gotten to play with them yet to check it out. But now we have Chow, and if you've noticed, we've been using the same units over and over again instead of getting new units. And the or like the boss here, Shui Hu. This is something that we should have got as a unit instead. Something that is new. If that's going to be our Neo Vision, then make it new. Don't make it the same unit over and over again for our limited time holiday units. It is very frustrating, and this has been something that's been following now for about, what, 6 to 8 months, where we've been seeing very limited growth. Our NVAs have been very limited, even buffs to units. And I'm just gonna, and we'll talk about FF5 but other units too we haven't seen, and we have a great list that we're not seeing compared to Japan. And I know, quote, quote, it's a different game. But at this point, what we are seeing is a very limited global gameplay that even Japan has been getting much better. And the Chinese servers, which has got a lot of issues with power creep running amok, at least they've also been getting a lot of new items in the game. And true, they're way behind. But Global has been completely stuck in a rut. And for FFBE, Global is the main moneymaker. Um, so there has been War of the Visions. Yes, that is incredibly powerful in Japan. It's roughly equivalent. It does make a little bit more money in Global, but it's roughly equivalent. And FFBE has slowed down a decent amount in the past 6 months on the spending, and I think it's mostly because of this. It was very, very steady, and I don't think we're going to grow anymore to a market, but we're definitely going to lose with the way that things have been going on. So, what can be improved? So, let's start off with the first one for improving old units that are definitely out of the current meta and really doesn't have much use. And Chuyu is definitely someone that is on there, especially when it's on a Neovision banner along with the newest Neovision unit. We don't know what Chow is. We do know it's going to be a spirit tank, And we do know the cow boss is going to hit humanoid targets a lot harder than our good boy will be. And our good boy is really designed for cow. There's a lot of people that have complaints about the new Neovision units having a very specific unit to go through it, but that's gotcha. That's life. That I'm not going to complain about. Shuyu, though, this is second year. She is one of the worst Neovisions in the game. Um, Probably bottom three, bottom five. And kind of just touting it out again is absolutely a huge loss. What we are hoping for is that you guys are going to ninja buff her. And right now, the only buff that we see is Chow's Neovision card, which is actually going to make her decently better. But, honestly, bottom 10. What we need is you guys to actually start putting a little bit more effort in instead of just having new units. And if that means that we're going to get less units every week, I think that's going to be healthier for the game. And it's going to allow, I would say, the Dolphins, the middle player, that paying base, to have more interest in the game again. Now, we are seeing issues with Ferris, who did not receive their buffs in FF5. I will state that giving Lena her upgraded limit burst for her main form was very, very good. So at least she did one thing. But unfortunately, at this point, with us missing, I think we're missing about 6 or 7 NVAs, which were already made in Japan. And Medina is one of them that a lot of people are asking for, but there's a lot of others that we haven't seen. Why haven't we received that? It's not even a power creep that's really super beneficial to a lot of people, but still, it's something there that we really need to have. Um, on top of it, we were promised a lot of the events. Some of the events that we missed out on Japan for story, those have never arrived. So to me, that just feels like it was a straight out lie. And Hiroki has been focusing on War of the Visions, but at this point, even this mini, and I do mean it's a very, very small 11-minute video. And the previous video was around 13 minutes. We haven't had a very detailed video that has given us a explanation of what we expect to go on. I mean, we didn't even have Alex on this time. This seemed like, oh crap, we are about to have a brand new unit. We didn't make a video. Here's this information and go. This has been very poor, especially for a flagship game that, yes, this is kind of like a flagship that is no longer the main of the class, and I totally understand. But at this point, we're just floating it out there and having it undermanned and just allowing all the gaping holes to blow it in and hoping that at this point, this game is looking like we want to just put it out there, shut the lights off, and then focus on War of the Visions. But in all honesty, I don't know if that's the right move for them either, because it's just not really taking a huge hold on global either. So what are we going to do next? Are we going to have much? I don't know. So we really need to put some NVAs back in here. Even the frickin' ones we have in Japan, give us there. Give us some of the upgrades. Some of them are really needed. Because at this point, I don't know how many people are going to keep on pulling. I just know in most of the communities that I followed, about 10% of people have just either stopped spending or given up on a game completely. And some of these were very big spenders. And I'm seeing that in all of the trends that's going on through there. Um, And I know there's been complaints about the vision card. I think there's some pluses and minuses to that. I think the big minus is the 25K that was there. It was kind of thrown there and forced on a really, really bad banner. I know why they did that. It just doesn't make it feel any less scummy than it was. Um, so at this point, we really need to start seeing some change, or I do feel that a large part of the community on Twitch and the community on YouTube, are going to start really distancing themselves from the game, and the game will die. So it needs to be fixed, and honestly, I don't think there's a lot of time left. There hasn't been a lot of goodwill that's been formed really since Halloween. And really, that was just a really, really cool unit. And that was the last one that we have. I know that you guys say, look, we can't afford to do NVAs for global exclusives. That was supposedly going to be for a limited time. At this point, it looks like it's ad infinitum. But there is no reason not to include the NVAs that are already in the game to delay. I know people are upset at like Zyle not being in there. That really doesn't bother me. It's the other NVAs that are already out there that feel niches, that feel other things. Hell, even helps just clear out units for people who have a lot of summons out there as well. This is the stuff that we need to get through. This is the stuff that we need to have done. This is the stuff that's really angering the player base to the point where the good years are out, they're on fire, and with a lot of us, we have a lot of good years, and they are all ablaze. So we need to have this fixed, and some of it is just delivering on some of the basic promises that we've had from the JP side. But there does need to be a little bit more going into this. Otherwise, I don't see this game having anything beyond a 6.5 year anniversary, and at least in the global side, because it is starting to die down a lot, and it really does suck. Because this is a wonderful community, but it is starting to look like it's starting to become the beginning of the end. There's still time to save it, still time to have this to last 10 years. But at this point, I don't see it lasting 6.5, 7. So, what do you guys think? Let me know. I know my chat's been letting me know as I've been doing my rant. And if they've got anything else they'd like to say, they can go ahead and log with it. I'll add it to the end of this video. But you guys have a good one, and hopefully they'll start listening to us. But doubtful. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.